Because I don't remember who.
What would happen to your hair if you left shampoo in it for 48 hours? Yes, I'll probably be going bald after this video. I started off by just getting my hair wet.
Hello, everybody. I am getting everything set up. I'm running a little late today because I was messing around with some stuff. But we're okay. Just a few minutes late. Let's see. So Twitch has the right thing. YouTube has the right stuff. I'm working on trying to get set up to stream on TikTok as well. I thought I had it set up, but I didn't, so not today, but we're getting there. Let's see, so my mic's good. Music's good, game audio is good. Everything looks set up, so we're ready to go. Today we're going to be doing a few things. One is I'm going to be doing some work with honey. But the main thing is I am going to be working on a tunnel bore. And I downloaded a world, and we're going to go in there first. This is Kelp Minecraft, Kelp MC's world. I don't know who made this original tunnel bore design. A lot of his designs are from Il Mango Designs, but the tunnel bore has been a thing that has been designed and redesigned by so many people. It's really hard to know who the original one was. If anybody knows, feel free to comment it. Because I don't know. I have no idea. I would love to know, because I like giving credit to people. But I'm not sure. But so I'm just gonna, this is the design that we're gonna be using when we go to use it. So this is the world download that he put up. Pretty simple thing. Launches TNT forward, lands on some ancient debris, which can explode, or can't get blown up, and then it basically knocks down another wall. Let's give ourselves a pickaxe. This is in our, world download world. It's not our main world. I don't use commands in that to give stuff. But so basically, if this was my world, I would sit here, I would mine out the ancient debris, and I'd probably have to build up a little bit to get to other ones. But basically the idea is that we're mining with TNT so that we can get to the ancient debris a lot faster, which is part of what I want to do it for. Also, because I want to have a large tunnel, and this makes this whole area dug out. So we're gonna do that and make in our world and make some tunnels that are done. So I have some ancient debris. I need to get some more to really get started with building this thing. But basically, you need 3 to start it, and then you can get a lot more. Glowstone we have, all the redstone stuff we have. I picked up coral before, I have the slime blocks, I have the TNT. I don't have the honey blocks, but everything else we have, and we can use it. And basically the idea here is you sit on top of this so that it brings you along. And you launch it ahead, once every time it launches that TNT, and once the TNT explodes, you can launch it again. And so you just look ahead to see what is there. If there's ancient debris in our path, you can go and get it. If it's off to the sides, you can just keep going through, because this thing is only, it's technically 2 blocks wide, but it's just that 1 block wide. So then we can just keep going until we get to it. If we get to ancient debris that's like ahead of the machine, and it's in the way, then we have to mine it out first. But yeah, this thing brings you along with it. So that's where we started. We're up to here. So you can just keep going. You can also, like, if you see quartz, you can go grab that. And I'm just doing a few more just to show you. Another thing that this does, which I haven't quite decided how I want to handle yet. For our purposes where we're going to be using it, it's mainly going to be fine, because I don't think this is going to let me climb up because of that honey. It's going to be fine because the we're going to be doing this up in the nether ceiling, which means that it's not going to really affect us. But when there's lava coming down, you kind of have to take some blocks and go out and get to the lava and get rid of it. I was thinking that there's probably a way that I could do this where I have a second machine that runs concurrent with this one that generates basalt and then like makes a whole row of it and then pushes the row up into the ceiling to get rid of any lava or to create a false roof above it. That way if there's any lava coming out, we get rid of it. It wouldn't work for all the lava like in the actual wall, but that should be less common, so. So you see, now that there's lava there, we need to go and take care of it. Otherwise the lava can come up the machine and it'll flood the whole room. Well, basically we just go in, place blocks, get rid of the lava, and then while it's removing the lava, we just go back and run another one. Pretty simple machine. Works pretty well. This was to show how big it was. But what I don't have right now are the honey blocks. So that's something we need to work on. Let's run this a couple more times. I just want to see, make sure I understand how it works. We'll probably switch back and forth when we try to build it. I actually I can bring up the tutorial too. It's fairly simple though. The only thing I'm not super knowledgeable about with the build is getting the TNT placed how it is. So I don't know how to make it so that this TNT doesn't activate in place when you place it. I'm sure there's some trick to it, but... But this works really well, and I could make this so that this would be tileable too, so I could just repeat this machine to make it wider. So we would have like 3 of them running concurrently. And that's what we would do in the nether roof part, because we're going to want to make it so that we can make it a certain width. And then we'll build it going the other direction and do like a big wide one to clear out the whole ceiling. So yeah, it works really good. Like I said, I'm not sure who the original design was. There's lots of people who have videos up on this, but like, not everybody's very good about giving credit to where they got their originals from. And you know, it is what it is. I try very hard anytime I'm using something that somebody else put a video up about, and I'm using that video to do it, to put up a link to that video. And if I know who originally came up with it, I usually put that too. But you know, you can't do it for everything. So we're gonna leave out of here. We're gonna go to our single player world. We're over the 500-day mark now. I'm still working on the recap video. I haven't had time. So that's something that we're gonna be working on. I need to clean up this. I've done a little bit of like mining. I was looking for more ancient debris just so I had enough to start a tunnel bore. But I'm running out of space in here very quickly. So basically I was just working on digging out a perimeter around the base of our nether tunnels. I figured if I'm already going to be digging for it, I might as well be getting it from somewhere where it's useful. Oops. We're not going to be spending all day doing this. Just gonna do a little bit more here, and then we're gonna go to the collect some honeybees. So I gotta figure out a good place to do it. I think that there is an area near spawn where I know I saw some. Yeah, let's leave that. I don't want to mess with this right now. Once we get the tunnel bore set up, we can make these tunnels using the tunnel bore as well, which would be pretty cool. I thought once we can get one set up, I'll just use the tunnel bore to set out some pretty massive tunnels along the axis down here at our actual nether hub. And I'm not going to go crazy with them because, like I said, when I do the large one to clear out the nether, it's just going to delete whatever I put in here, so it's not going to be like a fancy build yet. Oh, we were almost at the end of that tunnel anyway. That's crazy. I don't have any good food on me. That's fine. Let's just eat the raw pork chops. I'm really excited about my FTB Genesis series. Over the weekend, the second video of it got about a couple thousand views in just a few days, and that was it's the best I've ever seen for a video. Oh, wasn't paying attention, I ran right into death. Whoops. This is why you should pay attention to what you're doing. Let's grab some weapons. I'll get a bow, some arrows. And I'll grab some more. I was busy looking at my chats and everything, and I just ran right into death. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm working on that episode. I'm working on the recap episode, and right now time is just so limited because of moving still. I'm really, really excited to be done with moving, but it's gonna take some more time. The other thing I was considering is that I could just push the netherrack up. So if I just made a flying machine that just kind of flew ahead and pushed the roof right directly ahead of me up another row, it would kind of push it up into the lava lakes, and then I could just repeat that. But I think it would be just as tedious as building, because I'd have to, like, if the machine gets stuck, I'd have to handle that. But I could probably figure out a way to do that. But basically it would just guarantee that there are blocks above ahead of it, so I could run that machine ahead of the tunnel bore. But I'd have to run it like right behind where the explosion area is, because I'd have to clear out an area and then do it, and that still wouldn't handle when there's no blocks there. So I think doing it with a basalt generator of some kind would be pretty cool. Because that would mean I could actually be creating a roof, and then I could still push that up above, and then in the cases where there's already 12 blocks above, it would basically, like, not be able to be pushed up. So I'd have to figure out how I wanted to handle that. Maybe I could use some kind of detection system, but I don't know. I haven't done enough to know with redstone if I can do anything that would move the stuff up, so might be harder than it's worth doing. But it's definitely an idea, something to try to figure out in my off time. So it would also help in the overworld if I eventually want to set up tunnel bores to mine for diamonds and stuff like that, having something where I could do it without worrying about any lava or water flowing down in would be pretty cool. Could have grabbed an elytra and just flown down this tunnel, but then I wouldn't have been able to grab all of this quartz that I've been missing. That's the other thing that will be nice about doing this tunnel bore, because I can take, like, because it's manually activated, I can just do one row at a time and then mine out anything that's worthwhile. So I can go up and grab all the quartz out and grab all the ancient debris. I can fill in the lava, and then I can just run it again. It means I'll get a ton of those resources without having to pick up and mine all the netherrack. That is the goal with it. But like I said, I need to get honey first, so... I think I was like 500 or 600 blocks down when I died, but I wasn't paying attention, and that's what I get. Hi, Gunnif! How are you today? I know you have a trial tonight, so you probably can't be on long, but nice to see you. There's a piece of ancient debris that I just missed. I have... Why is that notification? Is that Discord? I have Discord up on the wrong computer right now. Music's loud. I'll fix that. Is this too loud? That was a particularly annoying song to jump into. Still louder than usual, no. Huh. I don't think I made any changes. I'll turn it down a little while and see what happens. Maybe it's playing on a different channel or something? Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay. Can you hear me now? I'm gonna check something. Okay, I think I fixed it. What happened is that my mic got set to, instead of just my mic, it was all audio output from my main PC. So now I have my mic channel as just me, and that's at the right volume. And then my music is now back where I had originally set it. So it should be all good. I'm glad you noticed that, because that would have been really annoying in editing later. So thank you. I don't know how that would have happened, but another thing I'll have to check for now. I guess I should have noticed it. When I do my checks before the stream starts, I test all my equipment out, I check to make sure that the mic is being heard. Well, I saw the mic going up down as I was talking, so I just assumed, but I didn't look to see. I bet it was. That's probably true. This is why I say that everything is your fault. But all I have to do is just make sure that when I'm not talking, the mic isn't making any noise, and it'll be easy to see that. What I really need to do is make like an official checklist. I'm gonna put that in my notes because I want to do that. I have a running notes of things for the thing. And instead of having like a checklist in my head, it's probably a good idea now to have an actual stream checklist at this point. So I fixed that last time. I did oh, this is cool. I did this today. Let me show it to you. I added a button to my Steam Deck, so if anybody asks about the Discord or I want to advertise the Discord, it automatically goes in the chat, as well as I added the Discord command in there. I also added some of the default commands, so one of them is uptime. Oh, I have to be in the chat for that. Hold on. So if you do uptime, it shows you how long I've been streaming for. So that's pretty cool. Now I have that. Now that I have that set up, I can also add a lot more. Oh, it looks like Streamlabs and Stream Elements both answered me, so that's something I have to fix. Let's put that in a note. Okay, enjoy your trial. Thanks for coming in and helping me fix my sound issue that I didn't know was a problem. Okay, so I'm gonna keep working on getting back to my stuff, and then I'm gonna go get the... Hope I wasn't close enough that it despawned. Thinking of that, let's just run ahead now, because I wasn't thinking of that, and I don't want to lose my stuff. You scared the crap out of me. Sorry, everyone. Girlfriend came to kiss me and scared the crap out of me. We'll clip it and make it a short. It was worth it, though. Ooh, phone's not on Do Not Disturb. Another thing to add to the checklist. Okay, I see XP on the floor. Let's hope that my stuff has not despawned. Really good that it didn't, because I just realized I have, not only do I have like my gear, but I had like a bunch of shulker boxes. That would have been really crap to lose all that. Okay, ender chest. Take this off. Handle our armor first. Protection. So fire protection probably is what I want on. If I have the wrong one, do. I think we need to go repair some of that. Okay, so the armor should be good. Handle our weapons. The infinity bow is the one I want. Let's take the one that's full. Keep this pick. Sword, axe, shovel, torches, food. Okay. I think we're good now. Let's head back and get out and start looking for our bees. The bee farm I'm gonna do, because I've never done one of those either. Typically, if I haven't done a farm before, I'll start with somebody else's design and I will build it, and then I will learn how to do it, and then I will design one myself with some better, well, not necessarily better techniques, but like my own little flourishes on it. Unless, of course, you know, it's a real simple design and there's no thing about it. But like, the more you do something, the more you learn about it, and the more you can do different things with it. And that's typically how I am with stuff, because I've been playing long enough that I know how most of the things work. So whenever I'm looking at a design, especially somebody else's design, that like I didn't do, I think of ways that I would do it differently, and then the next time I build it, I adapt and change. And it's not usually for the better. Like, I'm not somebody who really cares about super efficient. I like doing stuff in my own unique ways, and so that's what I tend to lean toward. Sometimes they're efficient, but that's not what I worry about the most. Like my mob farm that we did, for example. There was lots of there's lots of designs for that. But that one, I didn't even watch anybody else's ones just because it's like a real simple concept. I did, however, look at like designs for timers and things like that because the redstone is something that you can do in lots of different ways, but like learning it from somebody else is a good way to do it. And I think in that case I just copied it and then gave credit to him because like it was not something I was going to change for the better. So I don't have that operating perfectly. I did look at a design for somebody that did a flushing mob farm using a boat timer, and I always wanted to learn how that worked. So, you know, maybe sometime down the road we'll do that. What I have works, and that's what matters. Okay, I think I've gotten most of the quartz along this tunnel, so when we get back to the center, I'll just fly to the middle and head out to bee farm. I'm just trying to get as much quartz as I can because I have a big quartz build coming soon. So the more I get, the better. And like I said, this tunnel bore, if we can get it up and running tonight, we can run that for a while. That'll get us a lot more because I can go ahead of the machine and grab it. Gold never hurt nobody either. Hey, look at that. Led us to some ancient debris. Good job, Gold. I saw an interesting take on like a video where somebody made like a lore thing for Minecraft. I enjoy those a lot, where people try to come up with different lore to explain different things in Minecraft. And the one that I really liked, and if I can think of it when I'm reviewing the stream, I will try to put in a note about who it was if I can find him. But there was... Basically, the idea was that the reason that there's ancient debris in the Nether is because there was the ancient builders, which is what everybody refers to, like the people who built the ruins and stuff in Minecraft, had learned how to make netherite, and it was combining netherite scrap with gold. So the theory in this video is that the piglins, when they got their hands on netherite, which they didn't have a super big use for, they figured out a process of how to smelt it back down so that you could pull the gold out of it, and it left debris, ancient debris. Now, it's one of those things where it's a cool sounding thing, but it's like a chicken or an egg thing. Did the ancient debris have to be in the Nether for the ancient builders to come up with a recipe for netherite first? Or did the netherite get made from an overworld ingredient and then it got left as ancient debris and we could turn it back into it? So I think it would be more supported if there was a way for you to make netherite that didn't use the ancient debris in the first place, that was less efficient. So like, I always thought it would be kind of neat if they made it so there's an overworld only way to make netherite, but like using diamond blocks and make it less efficient than using netherite scraps. And then that way it would explain why netherite is 10 times stronger than diamond, because basically make it so that it uses 4 diamond blocks to make 1 ingot. And you combine that with gold. And if that existed, it would make a lot of sense. And ancient builders made netherite using diamonds, and then piglins took the netherite part of it out by removing the gold and made it so all it was the ancient debris. And so that gives us the scraps, and then when we refine that and add gold back to it, we get our netherite as well. So it'd be like 2 different recipes for netherite. I think that would be a cool thing. Maybe I could make a mod for it. I've been thinking along those lines recently. Just that there's a couple of different things that I'm like, it'd be cool if somebody made a mod for this or that. And like, I could have, you know, I could, if I given the time, I know how to program, I could probably make a mod myself. It'd be fun to have a mod with my name on it. Problem with that is that making mods is a very time-intensive process anymore. Because you need to, not only do you need to make the mod, but you need to be able to do support for it, and update it. I don't know if I'm up for all that. Ton of quartz. This will be great for when I start the next project. I do really enjoy building with quartz because it's kind of like a flex that you've been able to get that much because it's time consuming to get it. And it's also pretty. I haven't quite started designing it. I'm in the early process in my head of thinking of how I want it to be. I'll probably start designing something in creative before I do it. When it comes to like decorative builds, I feel like, as opposed to technical builds, I have to plan out the creative ones a lot more. Just because it's not my strong suit. I can wing it when it comes to technical stuff, because I know the stuff in and out. I don't have as much experience with building aesthetic things, so it's a lot more effort for me to just throw those together. Or I guess I could do it, but it wouldn't come out nearly as good. But I typically, like, I'll find something in the real world that inspires me, and then I will spend several hours coming up with blocks that kind of simulate that feel and look. And that's how I do the things. Okay, we're almost back home. These are we're gonna need, so let's do that. I think we'll take these shulker boxes up to our main storage area, which you can't even really call that. I haven't actually built a main storage area, but the lean-to where we're storing everything. And we'll just unload the shulkers into chests. That way we have some empty shulkers to work with. And we'll come back and grab all that stuff and bring it up here too. Do I still have any empty chests here? I have a couple. That'll do. So let's do just another section here where I add some more chests. think I have one over here that already has a lot of gravel in it. But let's put it over here, either way. I have an ore chest somewhere. Oh, but it's full. This one can be my new ore spot for this stuff. See if I have any empty chests. I do. Okay. These two are done. Those this one. These are all empty. Empty, 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 empty. Let's put them in this chest over here temporarily. I'm just going to put all this other random nether stuff up in there. Can I reach through here and grab it? Hey. Okay, so let's grab these back. Let's grab this box real quick. And we'll also grab the toolbox quick, put this back. These are all empty. Let's go back to the nether, grab that stuff from there just to sort it all out. Well, not sort it out, but collect it all together. Balls and problems. Oh no. Much more problems. Great. I even thought to myself, I shouldn't do this. I know there's lava back here. I'm gonna mess everything up. And what did I do? Messed everything up. That quartz can wait for another time. Oh, look at all this nonsense. I'm not bringing all this with. The netherrack can stay. But anything that isn't netherrack, I'm going to take. Okay. Back to spawn. This stuff is getting kind of nonsensical, having so much of this stuff to deal with here. I need to build a storage room. It needs to be done. Okay, there we go. So I have a silk axe and a silk pick on me. I'm gonna go through. Actually, no. Let's just head this way. I know that there is a birch forest right on the other side of this dark forest that I saw quite a bit of bees in. Oh, I need rockets. I put all my rockets away when I cleaned up those rockets. And I saw quite a bit of bees' nests in here when I was looking around. So I think that the easiest thing to do, because I need more wood anyway, is to just clear out some of these trees. And then I will find bees. And then I will mess with the bees and get them into their nests and bring them with. I only need one bee's nest with just a few bees in it to get started with the bee breeding. And to make other nests. But I need at least a few bees to get started. I have not done a lot with bees in the past. I have played on servers where people made bee farms and then I traded for honey. But like, because I've always played in SMP kind of stuff, I just never learned it myself because I always had access to it. I'm gonna grab these flowers while I'm here too, because I'm gonna need more flowers. I probably will just use poppies for the most part for the breeding, because, you know, I have a poppy farm. But more flowers just doesn't hurt. I don't particularly like birch for building with. Some of the planks I use sometimes just to have a lighter texture, but I don't particularly like it that much. But at the very least, it's very good for building stuff, like crafting chests and pistons and all those things, because it's really easy to farm. They don't typically grow very tall. They don't branch out. I can clear cut a birch forest very quickly. Sometimes forget that it's dark around because I leave the full bright on for the recording, and so it lulls me into this sense that like I'm not in a dark area, so I don't need to worry about mobs as much, and that causes some problems. What I really need is a mod that makes it so that, or not a mod, but like something that makes it so that the view going to the stream has the full bright one, but not what I'm watching, so that I can play with the darkness. But I think that would cause me more problems too. But I wonder if something like that exists. Like something where I could mess with my output. I mean, I know I could just adjust the gamma on my output, but I don't want to adjust all the gamma. I just want the gamma for the in-game stuff. So it would have to be done with a mod inside of Minecraft, I think. Because otherwise the GUI and everything else would also be altered. Which wouldn't be like the end of the world, but it's not what I'm looking for. I could have sworn when I was up here before, I saw like 3 or 4 bees' nests. Because this is the area above my skeleton farm. And I could have sworn I saw them, and now that I need them, it's like the bees just like packed up and moved off. I don't think like anything has changed like with the requirements of bee spawn. I know that they can spawn in birch trees. I think they would probably spawn more likely near like a flower harvest. I see when they're in the distance. I love when skeletons shoot each other while they're trying to get to you. Thanks for bringing me that sapling, bro. So nice of you. Yeah, let's look around again. So here's one. One thing I want to do. I don't want to like get into a safe spot before I do this because there's mobs everywhere. So let's dig a hole. Holes are always safe. In here, I have some things relating to bees. Show me bee count. And bee tooltips. Made like a little mini zombie farm there for a minute. Okay, so now this shows me how many bees are inside. So that had 1 in it. Chalk box. And I can see that on my tooltips as well. Cool. I need to, like I said, I want to get at least 3 bees to start. But I'd like to get more. Heck, this far with this, what I'm finding in here, I'll be lucky to find another one. That was almost a perfect little spawn. One of each mob. Didn't have a spider. And I guess it didn't have an enderman, but there's a spider. I have a feeling when I watch the replay, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of comments that are like, "You missed a bee's nest." Alright, this is not a super successful run. I'm going to take a second and look at the wiki to see... I wonder if they made changes to like where bees spawn with all the different biomes that have been in since I last was a regular player. Maybe like the cherry or something gives you like tons of bees nests now. So yeah, let's just stay safe, and we're going to take a moment and look that up. So meadow, plains, sunflower plains. No wait, a meadow has a 100% chance of spawning. A meadow? Is that like a super rare biome or something? Let's look it up. Alright, meadow. Highlight a biome. Meadow. Where's that in relation to spawn? So minus 800, minus 600 is where Chunkbase says that there is a meadow. And it looks like a fairly sizable biome. I'm guessing up here where all the flowers are. I see, so it doesn't spawn a lot of trees, but the likelihood of the tree having a bee's nest, at least according to the wiki, was 100%. And so far, I think they're lying because this tree doesn't look like it has one. Fires. Hey, there's a village over here, though. Looks like one that I already raided, maybe. So according to this, pretty much this whole way for a few hundred blocks to the meadow. I think it's funny how the wiki says 100% chance that it'll have a bee's nest, and the first tree I find, nothing. There are lots of flowers here, which is kind of cool. I'll grab a few more of those while I'm here. Oh wow. This has got to be the meadow. I think I see a bee's nest. That was just a branch. Guess I'll just keep looking around, see what I can find. It said that there was just as much chance for him to spawn here. So, yeah, it's just a handful of biomes that it spawns in. Forest is one of them. Forest, it says, is 0.2% chance to spawn. Isn't great. Mangrove, swamp, plains, sunflower plains, and meadow have the highest chance. But I think that that's offset by the fact that the forest has a lot more trees. So if there's a tiny chance of the trees having a bee's nest, but then there's a ton of trees, that you'd think that would be better than a biome where there's only a handful of trees with also a small chance but a bigger chance than this. I guess. I don't know. I just need one more bee's nest to come in. If I can get one more, I'm good. I think if I have 2 bees, I can breed the bees. And while that'll take longer, that's not what I want, but I'd like to have a few more to start with. But bee's nest, woohoo! 2 bees inside of it. Come with me. Let's get the heck out of this forest. Success. So we have a bee's nest with 2 bees, a bee's nest with 1 bee. So we'll put them inside the thing, and we will get a bunch of bees from it. Get a bunch of honey. Beeswax. Whatever the word I'm looking for is. This way that my island is from there. Get back to that. 00 is over here. So I think that what I need to do is go... That's south. I think I need to go northeast from here. Get to my bit. Maybe not. Maybe it was south. Yeah, I think it probably was, because I think I was at the positive. There it is. I don't need bamboo or anything. I just saw that was like time to harvest it. I've always wanted to build like an actual like bamboo forest build, but like I think that because they're so difficult to move past when you pack them tightly like this, I think it would annoy the crap out of me if I actually had a build that had that. Unless it was like I had paths that I made through it and it wasn't, you weren't meant to go through the bamboo. But like, what would be the point of that? Okay, so this is the box that has my bees in it. Can I sleep this? Wait, no, it's not a thunderstorm. I also want some glass, because that's what the build that I'm using uses, but also because I want to be able to see inside. I don't know if I have a lot of glass. I may have to go get some more. That might be enough. Excuse me. Here's some more sand. Any coal in here? Cool. So now we have some more glass cooking up. I think I'm just going to build this down here in this area. I'm not trying to do anything too fancy anywhere. Yeah, let me pull up the guide that I'm going to be doing. Again, this is also a Kelp Minecraft, a Kelp MC design. I like his tutorials. That's the only reason I'm using it. Nothing particular about it, just I enjoy it. Okay, so I think I'm going to make the room the size of this whole chunk. Make this screen a little smaller. Just want to make sure I still have my chat up to be able to see it. It's pretty cool. Nick's just put up a video in my Discord for Thaumcraft, which I knew was going to be coming sometime soon, but I'll have to watch the trailer for it then. Thaumcraft, for any of you that don't know, it's like one of the very original Magic mods in Minecraft, and it has been missed for sure. And I think that it's Team COFH that is doing it, which is cool because they are pretty good at what they do. That's the team that makes thermal expansion and, you know, all the thermal mod. Forget what their name stands for. I don't want to look it up. Cult of the Fool Hub. I should get a villager that I can trade for glass so I don't have to keep cooking it. But not today. You better believe that once Thaumcraft comes out and mod packs start using it, I'm definitely going to play a mod pack that has that. Because I very much enjoyed Thaumcraft back in the day. It said this version is Thaumcraft 7. I think the last time I played Thaumcraft in any large capacity back at Thaumcraft 3. So, one of the things I liked about Thaumcraft, and I don't know if this will continue, if they are going to continue doing development on it, is that Thaumcraft was really good about, like, when they did a new update of Thaumcraft, it wasn't like they just updated the mod to work on a new version. It was like each version, this was how it worked for that version, and then they would do something completely different when a new version came out. And some people found that to be kind of bothersome, but I thought that was cool because it meant that Thaumcraft was always fun in a pack. Like, it was when you switched to a pack that was on a different version, it was something you probably hadn't done a lot of before. And I could see how that could be frustrating if you're somebody trying to learn it, but like, I enjoyed that part. Okay, so door set. Okay, so now I need to come in here. I want this to be grass in here. Because we're going to have bees in here, and we're going to plant flowers. That's the area dug down. Almost killed myself trying to jump up a cliff. This is why Sai gives me a hard time about how I use my elytra too much. I could have just walked up here No, I nearly killed myself just trying to fly 6 blocks. This area is the one that I flattened out before because I wanted to have an area specifically for mining grass blocks. And so that worked out well. I can get a bunch of grass blocks up here. Okay, so that's done now. What is my command for the... Oh, I took it off. That's fine. When I switched to 1.21.5, my hotkeys were removed. Okay, so the torches in the corners light that up. That's what I was checking. Okay. Time for this video. Okay, got the video queued up for what I want to do, and I was just making sure that it wasn't gonna, sound wasn't gonna come through, because I don't want sound of the tutorial going over top of me. But let me go back to the beginning. I'm going to take a quick break before I get started on this next part, and I'll run an ad quick and do the things I need to do, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, I am back. So, let's get up what we need. Need some dirt. We need some RBs. We need some redstone. So I need dropper. I think it's a dropper. Might be a dispenser. I need observers. I don't have. I need to go make some. Observers are cobblestone and redstone. Okay. Need a bed too. Do I have one in here? How do I not have a crafting? So to make these, I'm gonna need to use these. Let's grab toolbox. I got that out for this purpose. I want to fortune pick. Put this one on that bar. I have some redstone already, but I figured I do need to do some repairs, and I have redstone ore, so I'll repair all this and that silk picked while I mine up some redstone. And I need more. I brought some cobblestone over, but I just realized I'm just going to make a whole stack of observers to put it into my redstone box. So I actually need 6 cobblestone. Cool. Now we have observers. I'm gonna need a couple. Need 2. I'm gonna need some redstone. Most of this can go back in. I will need a lever. I'm gonna need hoppers, which means I need to grab some iron. Five. I'll just mine some wood. One more stack will do it. Full stack of hoppers. I just need a couple for now. And also make some barrels. That'll do. Okay. Now we're going to be going in here and silk. So first things first is an observer. I left them on me. Observer is going to go... this. Then we're going to do... another one like this. You know, I think I actually want this side to be down. Hey, Gunna. Is the trial over already? Or are you just bored? Oh no. That sucks. Well, now you can tell everybody to come watch my stream instead. Just kidding. I'm glad you're here. We went and collected bees, and now I'm working on just building a bee farm area. And I'm following a tutorial, and I made this room too tall. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it would matter, but I think that the redstone that I'm going to be putting in needs to be on the roof, and the roof's too high, so just this first section I'm lowering down for now. You see... I feel like I'm doing something wrong with that part. Let me look again. Oh, it is. I have an observer at the bottom, and I don't want an observer at the bottom, I don't think. I actually want the drop. Yeah, okay. So now if I turn this on, it goes, and if I turn it off, it doesn't. Okay, I need to go back a little bit again. And so the next thing we need is our bee's nest. Let's do the one that has 2 in it. It goes here. This goes here. And I need flowers. I don't want you following me. Go do your bee thing. But basically, I think that this is supposed to be getting me honeycomb. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Did you guys make any progress on the trial before you had to stop it? He didn't have a lot of time, so. Okay, so it says that this will provide me with beeswax, but it doesn't say how long, and I'm imagining it's probably going to take some time. You wiped on the boss for like 3 times. It's been a couple weeks since you guys were in there, too. Because of you guys being, I think 1 week you were out, at least for you, you were out because of helping me move, and then the week after, there was several people out, if I remember correctly. So, you'll get back in there and you'll get it done. You always do. I'm gonna need a bunch of wood for the beehives once I get enough beeswax. So I figured since I need to kind of wait for them to do their thing down there, I'll just chop some of these trees down. Are you going to play Palia with your newfound free time tonight? I know you've been very hooked on that game. Glad you found a game that you're enjoying. It is pretty cool. I will probably do some more of it myself. Awesome. Here a zombie. Is he near me or is he down below? Probably down below. It'd be really funny if I found like 3 beehives while I was working up here, since it took me like 40 minutes to get the 2 I found. The reason I'm working with the bees is because I need their honey to build the tunnel borer. So I'm working on building a honey farm over here. And I've never done it before. Surprisingly. I've always just relied on other people in multiplayer doing the honey. And then if I needed honey, it was always just a little bit. So I would need it. But I am going to need a ridiculously large amount if this tunnel borer design is the one I end up using for the main one. Because it's going to be very large in scale. Like most of the things that I do. So this one is a pretty simple one. I may end up going even bigger once I understand the concepts, but it should get me tons of bees. Tons of honey, I mean, from the bees. But what we have down there is just pretty much a simple little bee breeding kind of thing. The very start of it. And it's a Kelp MC video. I think I said that already, but it's always better to make sure, because I like giving credit when I'm using people's tutorials. And he is one person in particular who does tutorials that I really like. Because he does it where it's just text on the screen that explains it, but like it's real easy to step through it and follow it block for block. So he's actually somebody that I try to emulate when I do my tutorials to make sure that it's as easy as possible for people. Because, like, you know, I still want it to be entertaining, but the main thing about tutorials is you want it to be really, really easy to follow, especially like while you're trying to build with it. And I'm not really great at making those yet, but I intend to get better at it. There's the zombie that I keep hearing. Let me put you out of your misery, buddy. Oh, did I get another head? Zombie villager head. Oh, that's so nice. I think I'm Fantastico too. But not really with tutorials. I don't do a lot of the block by block tutorials yet. I think I can do them. I think I will probably find a way to make them unique and entertaining while I make them informative, but I just don't do them a lot. I wish you could. I do think that the sophisticated backpack mod needs to add a way to make a zombie backpack where you take rotten flesh to craft it and then have it look like it's like made from the flesh of a zombie. That would be pretty epic. I think it would be OP though, because it's so much easier to get rotten flesh than it is to get leather. But really it's not. Like, you know, cows are everywhere and they're easy to breed. frankly, they're probably easier to get. Probably easier to get leather than it is to get rotten flesh, because you can do rotten leather in a kind of automated way, farming up the cows. Zombies, like, you at least have to fight them and kill them. I just convinced myself that I was wrong while talking to you. It's the power of talking to your girlfriend. Spend so much time knowing that you're wrong that you can just convince yourself. Just kidding, honey. We both know how many I was wrong dances you owe me. I would say that zombie skin is human skin that has, like, decomposed and turned into leather, which is why I think it makes sense to make backpacks out of. It'd be really difficult to make a backpack out of a human skin, because, like, you'd have to do a lot of stuff to it to turn it into leather. But I feel like zombie skin has been out in the sun for a while, and it's kind of like turned into leather on the zombie's body. I think, if anything, it would make more sense to make a backpack out of zombies than it would out of human skin. Not that I'm saying, you know, I wouldn't also think it was metal to make a backpack out of human skin. But how did we get on the topic of making backpacks out of people? This has got to be your influence. Yeah, of course you do. Just because you blame me doesn't mean it was actually my fault. It's not how that works. I know that's how you think that works, but that's not how that works. If I can get this honey going, this is the last thing I need before I can build the tunnel block. I don't know that I'm going to have time to do both of them tonight, but it would be cool. I may do some off-camera work with the tunnel bores too, while I'm working on editing the recap video, which I want to work on later. There's just not enough time in my week, man. If only I didn't need, like, you know, a house, food. Then I wouldn't have to work. I could just make videos all day. Wouldn't that be glorious? I mean, it's 2025. Why has nobody invented a pill that you can take to replace food yet? I guess if they did, they would just charge $200 a day for it. All right, let's go check out our bees and see how they're doing. Still 3 bees in there. Got nothing in here. Am I missing something? Was I supposed to put something in the dropper? I don't understand. Let me go back to the tutorial. Oh, it needs to be a dispenser for one. To make it. I can do this. Oh. Cobblestone. Redstone. You believe in me? That's so nice. What I don't understand is, like, the dispenser. I would think the dispenser needs to have something in it for it to do anything. I'm gonna rewatch this. Maybe I missed something. Dispenser facing down, which is what I have. Barrel in that spot with 2 hoppers underneath it. Just to make sure those hoppers are facing the right way. Let's test it. Right. Tomorrow or Wednesday. Either one of those would be fine. And we'd only need it for like an hour. Those bees are doing their thing just like they're supposed to. What I don't understand is the dispenser. I guess maybe the dispenser, clicking on it, just pulls out the beeswax, and then because it has nowhere to go, it just gets dropped into that hopper. But don't know. Good idea. Okay, so if we have if I disappear because hope it's not a tornado. That one nearby us was pretty crazy. We're crazy. All right, let's go chop down some more trees while we wait to see what happens. I do have my phone charging, and it's at like 40%. I also have both of my power banks charged, which means that I would have enough power to keep my phone charged for about a week. Pretty sure I'll be okay as far as having an emergency. This border here is the one that I want to flatten this whole area out to. So I'm just slowly working on it as we go. And like I said, I've been kind of doing it in layers because I let the top layer turn back into grass so I can collect more grass blocks. The grass blocks are more versatile than dirt blocks because I can use them for either one. It's going to take me a while to get all the bees I need for this farm that we're trying to build. I was just looking at it, and not only do I need to get the beeswax to make 8 bees nests, so that's 24 beeswax, I also then need to breed up 24 more bees to go inside those bees nests, because the bees nests need to have 3 bees in each one of them for the farm to do its thing. At least that's what the tutorial says. I don't know. I'm still trying to understand the bee mechanic. So it's clear that like bees go to the flower and then they go into their nest and then they produce honey. And then apparently if you have a dispenser or click on it, you get beeswax. I think if you put a bottle inside there, it then creates honey instead. A honey bottle. I'm not positive on that. But I thought for sure you needed to have shears inside to get the beeswax. So if we go down there and there's no beeswax left, I'm going to put a shears in. Because that was my understanding. It could be that this is from an old version too. I would have thought he would have updated the video to include that with a tooltip. Or not a tooltip, a caption to say that, but I didn't see anything about it. I also may be confusing, you know, Java and Bedrock rules, so. Take a quick peek inside. Yeah, I got nothing. So I'm gonna try, just because it certainly ain't gonna hurt me to put in shears, because, you know, iron farm. I'm gonna try to put a shear inside the dispenser, because I thought that that's how it worked. Yeah, there we go. All right, well, let's let that go for another minute. So, my understanding of the bee's nest are shears are how you get beeswax. So if you want to have beeswax, you need to have a way for the shears to keep getting renewed or whatever. Which is kind of why I built it over here. I have a pretty renewable source of iron nearby. And then for honey, you just need the bottles. What I don't know is, do the bottles, like when you craft honey blocks, do you get the bottles back? Or do I need to have a renewable source for bottles? But I can certainly get a renewable source for bottles over here as well, because I can get a villager that can give me glass. And so I can just craft large amounts of bottles. So that's why this is a good spot for a honey farm. I mean, you're the one that tends to drink all my beer. Wouldn't you be a renewable source for bottles? You're the beer thief! You're probably drinking my last Murphy's right now. If it wasn't Monday night, I would think that you probably are. Yeah, after, like, when I have downtime tomorrow, I may do some reading on the wiki and testing some stuff so that I can try to understand. When I build, like, farms, basically, I don't have any problem with building other people's farms, and sometimes I'll even use them as my farms because, like, people have put a lot of work into them and they work well. But, like, I don't want to use a farm unless I understand how it works. So I build it with the idea that I'm going to learn how this is doing its thing. And then I usually will put some twists on it to make it my own. But, like, sometimes you just can't. Sometimes, you know, they're pretty well set up that this is the best way to do it. Kind of like the Enderman farm. Like, I made the Enderman farm look different. I changed some things up around it to, like, I put in my own dispenser to get rid of the Ender Pearls. But, like, the basic design for that, where you have a 3x3 drop chute and then you have the named Endermite at the top, like, there is nothing really to change to make that more efficient. Like, it's as good as it goes. Which I'm glad, because the old way of doing that was very complicated with lots of different ways you could do it. And it's nice to have a very easy way to do it now. Sometimes I think they make some of the things too easy, though. As much as I would have loved to have had the Enderman farm design that is pretty common now, back in the day, I also wouldn't have spent hundreds of hours perfecting one, and I wouldn't be as good as I am now at Minecraft. Does that make sense? Like, you learn from trying to overcome how difficult something is. So, I like easy, but easy doesn't teach you anything. Oh, I didn't bring an arrow with me. There's my animals. I just saw that they just added a new music disc to Minecraft. Kind of want to work on setting up something to get that. Fortunately, it's not a hard one to get. I think it's going to be a hard one to automate. But you just get it for hitting a fireball back into a ghast. Which has always been an achievement, but it's kind of cool that now it has a drop. Sure that Ray's Works has already come up with a farm to automate it, because he has an automatic farm for everything in the game. I don't really watch a lot of his videos, but I bet you I have, in it without knowing it, watched a lot of his like designs, because I think a lot of people watch his stuff to learn how to do it and then make their own design after, which is basically the same. I do think it would be better. It would better serve the whole community if people would be better about crediting people. Like, I don't see anything wrong with making your own tutorial and video about somebody else's design, but just tell them who made the original one. Mostly because for people that are trying to learn this stuff, that those videos from the person who actually designed it will probably help. And then, if you're crediting them, you're bringing more viewers to them, and then they'll make even more stuff. Doesn't hurt anybody. So that's why I try to do it. Time for a sleepy sleep. Well, the bees are out. I think from looking at it, it looks like the bees come out of their flower in the morning, or out of their nest in the morning, to go to a flower. Which means that this farm, if it's just like AFK, you're only going to get like new beeswax and new honey once a day from each nest. Which explains why this would be really slow at the start here, because we're waiting for the bees to go in and do their thing. It probably is there certain times throughout the day. So I think the only way you could upscale this to make it faster, if that's the case, is by making it larger. Which wouldn't be a problem, especially because, like you said, you can put in new bees in these beehives. In fact, let's grab some flowers. I'm gonna use poppies because they're renewable. Because I have a poppy farm over here. See, I have plenty of poppy. there's 3 bees in there. But I think there's probably like a certain amount of time that the bees need to be inside the nest after having pollinated a flower before they will produce it. And this is only used one, so it's because there's only one time has it had enough to make any beeswax. Make a new bee. Cool. Now we got a new baby bee. I think that baby won't be able to go in that nest because you can only have 3 bees per nest, which means that he's pollinating on that flower. We should see him go and live in this nest here. And now we can go and make another where's just the wood I had? This is fine. Honeycomb beehive. We'll put another beehive there. Alright, I guess the baby did go in there, but this bee doesn't have anywhere to go because that one's full. So let's see what he does after he does his thing with a flower. Let's also put some more flowers here. Will he go and find these other hives? Is the question. Cool, so he went in there. There's 3 in there, including the new baby we just made. So basically we're just going to be repeating this for a while. I'm going to look up on the wiki how that works with these. Oh, I just saw your text about the power. Okay, so pollination. Bees leave their nest during the day. They fly around their nest and are attracted to flowers. Flowering azaleas, leaves, mangrove propagules, pink petals, cherry leaves, spore blossoms, forest flowers, and wildflowers. They pollinate... oh, it says they can pollinate wither roses, but they'll get the withered effect. That doesn't sound like a great idea. So they circle a flower for more than 400 ticks, which is 20 seconds. As long as they don't get damaged, they will pollinate. Oh, interesting. It says if a bee has pollinated, its texture will change and you will see it because of that. I did not realize bees can pollinate other crops. That's something I want to mess around with too. Housing, attacking, breeding. Under pollinating, it has to be where they talk about honey. So in order for them to do the pollination, interesting. Oh, made some more. Excellent. I also found out from reading that I don't need to worry about keeping that door closed, because the bees won't fly through the door. They do not have the ability to do so. Once the bees come out again, I will do it. So it takes about 2 minutes after they pollinate. So it takes 2 minutes for them to get the pollination effect from the plant. And then it does its thing with like pollinating any nearby crops. And then they'll go back to their nest after 2 minutes. So it isn't a whole day, but it is a long process. So the more bees with beehives we have, the more honey we'll get. I'm going to leave the poppy in my hand, so when they fly out, they fly over to me. And then once I have 2 of them, I'll breed them and then let them go back home. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it earlier, but I did the steps to set up my TikTok account for live streaming. But I did it on the wrong account. So now I'm waiting for my actual streaming account on TikTok to get approved. Hopefully by Wednesday, I might be able to do a TikTok stream on Restream as well. Which might be cool. Does feeding these guys flowers make them grow up faster? I guess I don't want flowers on these because I want them to go to this one first, because I want to make sure bees are going in here so that I'm getting more honeycomb, because these are just storing bees. I want the bees to primarily live in here. Go do your flower things. Eat your honey. Forget your pollen. Go make some honey. We're going to let that go for a little bit, now that we know it's working. And we'll go dig some more stuff. So my shovel is almost done. You think that helmet will save you? Another thing I need to spend some time doing at some point is harvesting some wood from the nether, because I have a project coming up that's going to need a bunch of it. I might set up a farm for each one. Still have not abandoned doing the automatic tree farm over where I set up TNT duplicator. Just haven't. There's too many things to do all at once. Should go sleep, because not only then would I not have to deal with mobs, but I think the bees can't do anything at nighttime. I'm just wasting time. Pretty sure I got them all. Go make babies. And go make honey. We've been streaming for 2.5 hours now. Oh. Yep, 2.5 hours. I like my new things. I think I'm gonna go just for another, just a little bit longer, and call it a night. I may do some more work before I go to bed, just to mess around with some stuff, but I cannot stay up too late today with the Minecraft. I have a lot of work to do tomorrow. Got a company to run. Also, 10 o'clock is bedtime for Gunna. I'd like to be able to say goodnight before she goes to sleep. But we'll see. If I'm still feeling strong, I might just take a break so that I can say goodnight to her and go a little longer. I am enjoying the streaming. Getting some content out there for people to watch. Tomorrow evening, after I finish some moving stuff, I am planning on spending a couple hours to finish another FTB Genesis episode, because I am excited about that series, both because I'm enjoying playing it and because it's getting some good traction. We got it. The most views I've ever gotten in the first 3 days on a video for episode 2 of the FTB Genesis series, which is pretty exciting. So, I would keep making content even if it wasn't getting tons of views, but it's nice to see it getting out to people and getting some feedback from viewers as well. That's pretty awesome. It motivates you for sure. So, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, send me some feedback, comments, likes, dislikes, whatever you want. Nice to know that people are out there and what they think. My inventory is full. So, where did I put the rest of that? I want to know what happens. I know that this is not going to go well, because I think I'm going to anger some bees. Sure did. But I wanted to know what happens when I anger bees, because I've never really done it before. So I feel like, are they not angry anymore? Find out. Sure didn't take them long to calm down. Uh-oh. Still some angry ones. They're still angry! And the angry ones escaped. I didn't think they could go through the door. I guess they can when they're angry. Oh, well, we learned. We learned the thing. Now the question is... well, I have this bee nest too. Oh, and I have a bee in there. So... I don't think it would hurt to use a regular bee's nest. Also, let's do... Need to make more dispensers. And I only have enough to do like 2 more right now. I'll have to go get some more things. dispensers. I don't know why I don't have more in here. I remember making them and I went and found them, and then I guess I didn't put them back in there. But so let's have 2 dispensers. So let's put the 2 dispensers like this. Let's go up here and we'll add the 2 observers on top of here. And then I'll add redstone on top of here. Ooh, why is that still... I thought turning this off was supposed to turn that off. Oh, I guess these observers maybe it only works on that one. That's okay. Let's go put this bee's nest in place. Like, I could see you wouldn't want to do this if you didn't have, like, a lot of the iron to do it. But I would think that that would be okay. Now, this one has 1 bee. This one has 2 bees. Where'd the rest of my bees go? Did they all escape? Angry bees are just gone. They're just like, you guys gone home. Well, it wasn't the smartest thing to do. I knew that that's probably what was going to happen too. I just really was relying on them not being able to go through the door. Now I know though that angry bees can. All right, I need to get more dispensers. So let's go through here and look closely for any redstone related stuff. There's string, so at least I can make more if I need to without having to go and get them. These are all deep slate. And bows. Use them up. Dispensers! I knew I had some. I knew it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what, I'm just gonna do this the whole way over. Because why not? Oh, well, not that one. There's no spot. Oh, I only needed one more. All right, let's sleep so we can get all the bees out, and then we'll breed them again. Go do your honey thing. All right, I think I am going to stream a little longer tonight, but I'm going to take a break so that I can do some things, and then I will be back. Okay, I am back. Say goodnight to the girlfriend. I got a snack. Ready to go for at least another hour. That should help with the dispenser noises, I think. I just noticed that that is in MiniHub. So I'm using a mod called Shulkerbox Tooltip to do it as well. And it doesn't look like I need both. I'm gonna have to look into it to see which one I really want to use. I just added that to my notes to check when I'm off stream. I just want to do some research on them to see if there's a reason that one is better than the other. So it is in fact blocked, which is what I thought, but it didn't seem to go down that much, so Well, that's a little embarrassing. I thought I was muted for the last few minutes. I hope you enjoyed my chewing. Okay. Just to go over the things that I have learned so far, and I'm sure for many of you this is old news kind of stuff. But for me, I'm just learning about the bees for the first time. Excuse me. So the things I have learned. Bees' nests have a direction. So when you place them down, if they face away, if you face away while you're placing it, that's the direction the bees are going to come out. So when we make these beehives, I think it's this way. I think this is what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we place them this way, they're going to come out towards the way you're facing, not away from it. Also, I learned that bee nests or beehives can house 3 bees. I learned that bees will look for a flower nearby and they will go to it and they will pollinate it, which takes 400 ticks, so 20 seconds. And then they will return to their home. I also think from the wiki, it takes another 200 seconds before they produce anything. I learned that the shears in here will only get used if they actually do work. So even though they're constantly being clicked, it's not a big problem because until they actually produce something, they're not doing anything. And then I also, this I didn't learn, but I already knew that if you do bottles, you get honey bottles. What I still haven't learned is will the bottles be renewable? Like when I craft them into honey blocks, do I get the bottles back? Or are they part of the honey block recipe? I also learned that the bees can pollinate crops, which I didn't know was a thing. And I think it's pretty cool. You'll make this room a little shorter. Some more things that I need to kind of figure out why they are being done the way they're being done. In the rest of the tutorial that I was looking at, when he builds it, he builds the frame at the bottom where the bees come out of stairs. Now, I'm assuming the reason for that is that the bees do better when there's more space around the flowers. And so the stairs are a trick to make it so that the bees don't count them as a block. Because stairs count as a half block. And so pretty much in most cases for other things, like for hostile mobs, when you use a stair instead of a full block, it's because you want them to count that as an air block around where they're spawning. So I imagine that's the same with the bees, that they see it as not a full block, which means that they can use that for their calculations to get better rates at getting pollen or something like that. I don't know, that's my guess, but it makes sense based on what I know about the stairs. So that's what I think. I think based on all that knowledge, I could probably build a pretty sizable bee farm that produces a lot more. Do I need to go bigger than what I'm doing here? Probably not. But I like to know in case I want to. Plus, you know, next time I build a bee farm, now that I understand the mechanics pretty well, I can just make one off the cuff. No, you get back here. Where'd you go, bee? Come on, bees. Will you follow me in through a door if I have... Yeah, okay. Alright, that'll be enough to finish my last honeycomb. Or beehive, I should say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these shears back out. I should have thought about it before I made them. It's probably why he did not do it in the thing. Because I don't really... Beeswax isn't what I'm here for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 6 bottles in each of these. Oh, see, that's a problem. Oh, that's... So the shears, it doesn't matter. I can shear. But I'm going to have to look at his design. That's why it has comparators on it. So the comparators are used so that it only fires the dispensers with the bottles when there is in fact honey inside, because otherwise, as we just saw here, the bottles will just go and they'll end up in here, which is not what we want. So at least now I understand that. Did I lose half those bottles too? And they're all over the place. Okay, no problem. So we'll watch his tutorial. For now, we just need to keep working on breeding up the bees, which I can do. I'm amazed how long I've been playing this game that there are still things that I have no idea about. And that's one of the reasons I like it. They've added so many things. I took some time off, which helps too. That now coming back, I'm like, I had no idea how that worked. So there's still lots and lots of things to learn in this game. It is more of a challenge trying to learn stuff now because with the Bedrock version and the Java version being different, a lot of times you try to look things up and they don't make it clear which version they're on. That's something I'm going to have to address if I do make more tutorials and stuff. Am I going to do just one version? Am I going to try to do both versions? I think I would prefer to do both because I would like to be able to be like, this is for this version of Minecraft, and this is how it works for Java and Bedrock. But we'll have to see. Maybe I could focus on doing it for Java, but then I would make the effort to have a link for someone who has put up a similar tutorial for Bedrock, because I know several resources of people that do a lot of them, and then at least that way, if people come to my video, they can get directed towards a Bedrock version of it. That might be the best way to handle it, for at least at the start. It's hard to be an expert in anything. Being an expert in Java and Bedrock, much, much harder. So. For anybody watching in the replay, I'm going to link my Discord again. Discord is the best way for you to find me, to send messages in the Discord that I read and give your feedback directly. And I also, that's where I most consistently put in updates. Right now we're a really small community on Discord. I'd love to have more people in there so we have more people to interact with. As long as everybody is cool people, that's the only rule I have in the Discord. Don't be a dick. It's not that hard. So, yeah, if you're watching, consider joining the Discord, hang out with some cool people. I do occasionally do some voice chatting in there as well. So mostly that was for when we were doing racing, which we're not really doing as much anymore, which is okay. It was, there's still a few of us that are really into it. We do it a little bit, but some people didn't enjoy it as much, and I get it. I understand. Okay, so we have all the stuff we need to build except for bees. I basically just need to keep breeding bees until we have enough. So right now there's no bees in here, or they shouldn't be. They should all be outside. So let's wait until they finish what they're doing. I think I'm going to put some flowers more down because I don't care if they go inside the beehives. I'm also going to change this up. Let's go get some more stone. He was using... I don't know if I have any in here. He was using the smooth stone. In the tutorial. Like this. Do I have any cooked up? I probably don't. Let's grab a few stacks of these. And then I'm going to put them in here. Something I noticed, and I might not have seen it right. Gives us plenty of glass, which is nice. Drop off some stuff. So, the thing I want to test I thought he made stairs like this. Yeah, it must have been stone brick stairs, and I just looked at it wrong. I just like the way those look. If you could do them that way, we'll use this kind. Is there a stone cutter nearby? I thought I had one around some. I can craft. Probably like not seeing it, and it's right here. I want to put those in my backpack when I get the chance. So just to confirm, yeah, all you can make is mini smooth stone because of the add-on I have, and the smooth stone slabs. But if I grab these, I can make stone bricks, and then when I do stone bricks, I can do stone bricks. And then I get a whole stack, which is good. We'll leave one there. Down here, we'll put a stone cutter in my backpack. And we'll put a stone cutter here. Go inside real quick. Breed some more bees if we can. They're all too recently bred, which is okay. So, stairs I brought because I want to change this up. I'm going to put a chest down here. Instead of having those, I'm going to have them feed this way. And I'm going to put a stair there. That way this is still up. And the glass actually would work fine here. But I am going to need the stairs in a minute when I build the farm, because I'm going to follow his directions. But so now this isn't needed. And so if I grab a piece of grass, put this in, and I can have a flower run it out too. This one has honey, so let's do... I don't know how much honey you get from it when it does that. You just get the one. Ugh, kind of gross. So you get 3 honeycomb from it, but you get 1 bottle of honey. I don't know if I like that. That gives me the sad. We're up to 10, and we need 24 bees. All right, I think I'm just going to let this keep going. I think I'm going to call it a night for the stream. And I thought I'd go longer, but I think that this is going to take a long time. And it's not that particularly interesting. So I'm going to call it for the stream. I'm going to keep working on it while I watch a little TV and wind down for bed. And then on Wednesday stream, we'll pick back up. Hopefully with honey blocks in hand, and we can actually do the tunnel bore on Wednesday. That I'm really excited to learn how they work and get them working, hopefully. So we'll see what happens with that. Guess those bees have already bred. Like I said, tomorrow evening I am planning, after I'm done with the moving stuff, to work on videos. So hopefully Wednesday I'll have at least one video out. I'll probably, even if I get them both done, I'll probably do like a Wednesday, Friday release kind of thing. But if you're watching this, leave me a comment on which episode you're more excited to see coming up. I have the wrap-up episode for this series. I'm going to do the first 500 days and show what we did, do a little tour, and have a world download, or the FTB Genesis series. I'm probably going to try to get both of them done tomorrow. So if you leave comments and one is preferred, I will put that one out Wednesday and then save the other one for the weekend. I'm going to stick to the schedule I've been doing. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm trying to be on by 7. Sometimes it's a little later. Sometimes it's earlier. The Friday, I'm going to do an afternoon stream. I'm trying out to see different times. Plus, that gives me Friday evening free. So if I can get out of work early, it'll be like, you know, a noon stream my time, Eastern time. It might be a little later, 2 or 3 if I can't. So we'll see. Just depends on how things go. But that stream will be a little earlier, and I'll be done before 7. And then the Monday and Wednesday streams should start around 7 Eastern, both nights. So hop in, say hi. I would love to have some feedback while we're playing. I think that's everything. Check out my Discord. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Or hit that follow on Twitch. And we'll see you in the next stream. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.
what fate a slug carries.